Up until now, I'd give it a 10 out of 10. The show is not finished yet, at least the season, I mean, and we'll have to see how many seasons. I think there's going to be a bunch more. I give it a 10 out of 10 because the level of interest was very high throughout, and there wasn't that many setbacks. And I feel like they're putting an effort to make it better and better, make it more and more interesting. So I'm really happy about that. I'm excited for the future to see where things are going to go. I'm also interested in how high Luffy's bounty can be. Will it surpass Gold Roger's? That will probably take a couple more seasons, at least maybe even like 3 seasons. So we'll see where that goes. But they only produce like 1 episode a week, and they may take a break at some point for a month or two. So it could take, this show could be going on for years. Like I could have kids, and this show will still be going on like episode 3000, and it may not be finished. So, it's interesting to see where they take it. Are they planning on doing this for the long haul, or do they want to advance the story so that it'll be done in a predictable time frame? So right now, at this time frame, I only see Luffy's bounty getting like 2.5 billion within the next 30 episodes. And then maybe 4 billion in like 100 episodes. So realistically, they'll probably be around 1,100 episodes to get to his desired bounty, but then he may become the king of the world. But that would be contrary to his goal to be king of the pirates. So I don't think that's going to go in that direction. Also, we recently were introduced to this concept of king of the world, which raises a lot of questions, because the one who died was anti-government, and the king of the world is, anti-government's supposed to be good in this show, but he was actually portrayed as bad, and he teamed up with all these bad people, who were objectively bad, who had less sensitivity. So what that tells me is that Luffy may not go in that direction. If he becomes king of the pirates, there may be like a political spin-off where he teams up with someone in order, to fight against even greater pirates at a different part of the world who are hiding, or maybe pirates, maybe someone's actually not dead, right? One of these great pirates, maybe, it could be anything. Gold Roger's for sure dead, but because Luffy is considered, it's implied throughout in a dozen places that he's probably the reincarnation. It says like his spirit, Gold Roger's spirit is inside of him, or he has the spirit of Rogers, so it's probably that. But there is probably someone who is out there that's not dead, that they think is dead, or who maybe followed in someone's footsteps and he's been hiding. So even after all these great pirates are gone. But what this show succeeds at is like bringing in new characters. And of course they were always around. Like, you didn't know about this? They give you that sense of, oh, I feel stupid. I didn't even notice these great pirates were around. And the narrative's bringing him in. And the narrative says in such a way that you like, of course they were always around. And I think their skill to do this comes from the fact that they throw in a lot of images and imply a lot of things that the later episodes expound upon. So because they expounded upon it, your mind tricks you and thinks, oh, they were always a part of the show. But really, no, the director was just, the writers and directors were just thinking of new ideas to bring in new characters in a seamless way. So that's very, it shows a lot of it shows that they're very successful at drawing the audience in a way that they may never lose interest. That's very skillful. So that's partly why it gets such a high rating. I only noticed it really now. I noticed it in the beginning. This quality that the directors or writers tend to have with One Piece, but it's becoming quite clear that this will probably be the pattern. And if they decide to keep it going, they'll be able to do that. Meaning they won't stop making One Piece simply because there are too many. They can't keep the story going. They've done things in such a way that you'll always be able to expound and blossom new plot lines. Like at this rate, they'll probably have an alternate dimension or an alternate timeline, because they already have timelines that are factored in, or implied timelines. Not necessarily split timelines, but you'll have a timeline. Like maybe someone can go into the past. It's implied that someone can't go into the past because the devil fruit power is only allowed for a person to go into the future. But at the same time, the director can spin in such a way that that's the time fruit versus the twisted time or the alternate dimension fruit. You know, like they'll just throw in something that it's like, oh, it's so obvious. Yeah, you just needed that other fruit in order to do that power that you thought never existed, and then the audience won't think twice. So there are like infinite ways that you can take One Piece, which I'm excited about. But I don't. The only thing I don't favor is waiting every week for one episode, when it'll be nice if like wait a week, get 5 episodes, because watching one episode after 7 days of waiting is not my forte. So what you'll need to do is you can set in your calendar like 3 weeks, so I can watch 3 episodes. But still, it's annoying. So a lot of people just give up on the show and they forget about it for a year, it seems. I forgot about One Piece for literally like 12 years, or something like that, because after high school I was like, okay, this is getting ridiculous. But coming back to it was great, because I spent 2 months watching One Piece and I finished it, which was pretty tough. You have to have COVID to really be that excuse to help you. And if you don't, I guess it kind of makes sense. You're busy with your life. You'll take one episode at a time. But at the same time, it's not my plan. Meaning, I'm probably not gonna follow One Piece too often in the future. I may end up forgetting about it and then coming back to it in a few years if I'm still interested in cartoons and anime, which I probably will be. But the question is, will I come back to One Piece? It's interesting enough to want to know what happens to these Supreme Emperors. They're very successful at getting you interested, so I think I will. But we'll see.